man. Welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast live Sunday night NFL wrap-up edition. Yes. So it's myself and the Transformer. As always, we're going to go ahead and give you guys the rundown on this week's NFL action all the way through the game that just finished. And that was, of course, the Buccaneers and the Cowboys. That was a thriller down to the end.
Boy, was it?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. What's up, Transformer?
Man, what's going on, brother? Long time no see.
Facts. Yeah. So we were, of course, we were just with you guys earlier today, but we're gonna go ahead and get this knocked out. And yo, what up, New Breed? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Happy holidays to you. So we are gonna go ahead and do our NFL Week 16 wrap up, as you can see on the rundown. And I think I made that too big. Man, this is what happens when you do stuff and you half asleep. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit the spiel. And then we're going to come back and we're going to get right to it. If you're here on YouTube and you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead, click that like, that subscribe, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept up to date whenever we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio-only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in The Format Podcast, and we should come right up. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you give us that like, that 5-star review, and drop a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. And finally, make sure you write it down, put it in your phone, set an alarm, do whatever you got to do to remember. Saturday nights at 7 p.m. we are live here on the Format Podcast, and we'll give you the opportunity to call in, talk to us, get at me. I love it. I can't wait. Like my man Bart Scott, can't wait. That's a classic, man. That's going to stay with him forever. That's a great line. But yeah, so we are here and we are ready to rock and roll. So looks like it's not too many people in the chat, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to get to it anyway. So we are going to kick off the weekly review with as I mentioned, the last game that just finished. And that's the Buccaneers at the Dallas Cowboys. And that was a surprise. So go ahead and let's do it, Transformer.
Man, listen, if you was just watching that game as a Dallas fan, you're like, where have y'all been? Where?
Yeah.
Where have y'all been? This is the team we want to see. Me being a Dallas fan, but I'm totally not. All right, as you can see, that there's Green Bay has the back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Go ahead and let y'all know before without shout overdue. Packer Nation, baby. Here we go. Go Pack, go. But no, great game defensively by the Dallas Cowboys and offensively. We're going to get to that in just a moment. But the biggest key points in this football game was the defensive takeaways from Deron Bland, especially at the last just fumble recovery that he just snatched from White on a crucial drive that the Buccaneers needed a field goal to win the game. Deron Bland said, no, we're not doing that. I don't want to lose again, even though we're already officially eliminated as of today from the playoff picture. No, we're going to go ahead and take y'all out of the playoff picture as the Buccaneers fall to 8-6 and the Dallas Cowboys go to 6-8. Tampa Bay is now on the outside looking in. They are not in a wild card spot. That belongs to the Green Bay Packers, the Minnesota Vikings, and the Washington Commanders, all with 10+ wins. So obviously they would need to win out and hope that the Atlanta Falcons lose one of these games to reclaim that spot at the top of the division. So what do you think about this football game, man? I know it was crazy.
Yeah. First, real quick, what's up, Opinion Stated?
Opinion Stated?
Yeah.
What's going on, Opinion Stated?
Yeah, he says he can't see us, but New Breed says he can see us, so I'm not sure what's going on there. You might need to reboot Opinion Stated. But we'll be here for a little bit. But about this game though, Transformer, man, this is tough. I picked the Buccaneers to win this game. I didn't expect the Cowboys to be able to make this happen, but they they're playing tough, and it's crazy because they got eliminated from playoff contention today,
Yeah, I see it too.
but they're still out there competing, which means they're professionals, right? So they're
Yeah.
out there and they're doing their thing, and this is more the Cowboys that we expected to see all year. And it's funny. Does it seem to you like they're playing harder for Cooper Rush than they did for Dak Prescott? That's
Defensively, for sure.
yeah.
Defensively, they're going out getting stops, getting
Mm-hmm,
takeaways at
mm-hmm.
crucial points of the game, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
I would say yeah.
yeah. And then you see, let's see, I don't know about today, but Rico Dowdle over the last few games, as they've kind of found possibly that next guy at running back. He's doing his thing. Not a good day, not a good night tonight. 13 carries for 23 yards, but the last few games he's been doing well. But at the end of the day, man, this is something I did not expect. Baker Mayfield, he's doing his best he can do to try and carry this team. But man, inopportunistic turnovers will get you. We saw Baker pretty much drop the dime down there to his guy, and his guy just allowed it to be taken away from him in the end zone. That's an interception that goes on Baker's docket. And then we saw at the end of the game there when Baker kind of shovel passed it to him. White didn't get the ball tucked away, and that was taken from him as well. And that was the end of the game on a possible opportunity for a game-winning drive. So the Cowboy native Texan, what's good, man? I have not seen you in a long time, man. It's good to see you, brother.
Said Dallas got him a good win. Said, I'm here now.
Right. But yeah, this is man, the Cowboys, they came through. Their defense played relatively well, and their defense was solid, but just didn't expect this. This got to be a heartbreaker for Tampa Bay, and now they may not make the playoffs. We got to see. Transformer and I were talking about it just before we hit the button, and I think based on the remaining schedule, it looks more likely that the Buccaneers can win out versus the Falcons. But the Falcons, who are now tied with the Buccaneers, have the tiebreaker by virtue of sweeping them in the division. So they may well win this division and go on into the playoffs. But I think the Bucs are the better team out of the two. But hey, if you don't win these games, it doesn't matter. So crucial. Yeah, this is tough, man.
This is very crucial, man. Like you said, I mean, boy, it's devastating of a loss for the Bucs at this moment. Right now, you're rooting for the Commanders like they were your home team.
That's right.
You're rooting for the Commanders and or the Panthers. Meanwhile, you can't sleep as well. The Panthers, we're gonna get to them a little bit later, but the Panthers are playing pretty well. And they're fighting tooth and nail with teams so far. They got another dub today, and last week they took the Eagles down to the wire. So they're not nobody to sleep on, especially if you're going through injuries. I believe they may be down Shepard. I'm not sure if it was just a tight hammy or a pulled hammy, but he caught a hammy today as well. So you're down yet another weapon for that Tampa Bay Buccaneers receiving core. So I wouldn't sleep on the Panthers as well, but you're definitely rooting for the Commanders to catch a loss to put you back in that spot. So, boy, you don't control your own fate anymore. All right, you don't control it. So
that's a fact.
It's a tough loss for him, man. But Dallas. I mean, granted, you're officially eliminated. You got nothing to celebrate about, but the fact that you're 1-0 this week, right?
That's right.
You can only go by week basis. They look good, man. Cooper Rush looked great, in my opinion. 26 for 35, 292, and a touchdown. He didn't put the ball in harm's way. He didn't turn the ball over. Great passer rating. So he was going back and forth with Baker. And spreading the ball pretty effectively. I mean, Tampa Bay's run defense, showed they behind today. Rico Dowdle, 3 straight games with 100 yards, only 13 carries for 23, and he was their leading rusher. So that says a lot for that Tampa Bay rushing defense. But, Dallas found ways to get it done with turnovers, taking the ball away, limiting opportunities for the Buccaneers to make a score. They were crucial, man. So, boy, it hurts to be a Tampa Bay fan today. You can smile a little bit to be a Dallas fan today, but if you're Atlanta, you're like, "Woo, let's go win. We gotta go. We gotta go win, right? In order to maintain that spot." So, man, crucial loss, man.
Really, opinion stated. That's what we're doing, huh? That's
DC
what we're doing.
Now stands for the Commanders.
That's what we're doing. Oh,
well, y'all giving them Eagle fans hell today.
Man, man. Listen, Brandon Bryce was man. He was on our thread. My man said F everything Philly. My man said F the Eagles, F the Sixers, F Rocky, F cheesesteaks. I said, damn, all
F
that.
Pat Poose, everybody got to get it.
Man, hey man, Papoose is Brooklyn, man. Papoose not from Philly, man.
Oh, I meant Cassidy. My bad. I'm thinking of the wrong battle rapper. Jesus.
Right. Yeah.
Wrong battle rapper.
Well, you know you don't want to say F Cass because Cass will come out with a song about you tomorrow and it won't be good.
Yeah.
So you don't want those problems. But I feel you.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
But F cheesesteaks.
Hey, that's what he said. My man said F everything Philly, man. I said, okay, all right.
Man, no, I mess with them.
I
I mess
mess
with them cheesesteaks, bro.
Facts.
Cheesesteaks, man. Like, nah.
Facts.
Gilly the Kid. Oh, no. Gilly was mad. He went live. Was like, Gilly was mad today.
Oh, I didn't see that. Was he as mad as you, Edward Jackson? He was mad at you?
I mean, probably not because they're fighting for the number 1 seed in the NFC. So they lost that spot. Currently, I mean, Detroit and Minnesota, they got to battle it out for the top spot now. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to get into them a little bit later, but we're going to move on forward from here because I know Bruce wants to go nighty-night sometime soon. We're going to rewind to the Thursday night football game. The Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Chargers battled it out. The Chargers ailing in a victory, 34-27. Jim Harbaugh finally got that dub that he's been searching for the last couple of weeks. So what do you think about this football game, brother?
That was kind of crazy because if I'm remembering correctly, at one point the Broncos were up kind of big in that game, and then in the second half the Chargers really kind of roared back to take control and then win the thing. And you're seeing, man, what Sean Payton is doing with Bo Nix is really it's somewhat impressive. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the biggest Bo Nix fan. I didn't think he was going to have this amount of success as a rookie, just based on what I saw at Oregon, but he is running the offense that Sean Payton wants, and Sean Payton is running it in a way that's best for him. So he's having some success overall. 29-40, 263, 2 touchdowns in that game, right? Again, they lost, but you're seeing this guy play well, right? And then the Chargers are they're doing their thing, and Coach Harbaugh is continuing to try and put his imprint, put his stamp on the team. They need a viable quality workhorse type back. And I don't know, maybe they'll try to get that in the draft here. So we'll see. But once they get that, I think they're going to be very dangerous and they'll be able to play more towards what he wants. They clearly need a number 1 wide receiver, and they need a workhorse running back. J.K. Dobbins is injured. But anyway, good game overall. And I was surprised to see the Chargers come back and win it, because the Broncos have been one of the better defenses all year. So, yeah. My guy, Audric Estime, only 9 carries. God, go Irish. You got to do better than that, man. I mean, 9 carries, you got to get this guy to rock, man. Come on. But
no, absolutely. Especially at 48 clip. 48.
Yeah. He's just doing well.
Yeah. You definitely got to give him more touches back there. Bo Nix, passed the ball 40 times, and you had the lead, right? I mean,
for a guy, like, they don't want him to throw it 40 times. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I mean, I was letting you finish there, but you lost this game in the fourth quarter, 15 points. Like I said, given up by that defense, who's been one of the better defenses for the better part of the season, most part of the season. It was just a heartbreaking loss for you guys. I mean, granted, you guys are both nip and tuck for the 6 and 7 seed in the AFC right now. So you're like, okay, we're still in there, but at this point, you can't afford another loss. Like, you got the Colts, the Dolphins, and the Bengals who are just praying that you guys lose again for either of those teams to possibly make the playoffs. So not a heartbreaking loss, but it's like one of those, all right, now we got to tighten up everything for this team going forward if we want to, maintain that postseason spot. So it was a good game. Not as defensive as I thought it would have been. I didn't expect a high scoring game like it was. Yeah. So, in both quarterbacks, they kind of did their thing. Definitely a lot of air yards, a lot of attempts today. So a little less running the football. You expected it from the Chargers, like you said, but I mean, you expected it from the Broncos, like you said, but the Chargers are going through some injuries right now. So so it kind of limited them in their action. But
Yeah.
both still effectively ran the ball for what they attempted. But you definitely expected more out of them.
Right.
Yep. Other than that, you got anything else on this one?
Nah, man, that's it.
Boom, boom. All right, we're going to move on over to the Chiefs. This was actually yesterday. The Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning defending champions, maintain a nice solid record at 14-1, beating the Houston Texans, who had a tragic loss to Tank Dell yesterday with a dislocated kneecap. So he's going to be officially out for the season.
Yeah,
this is the wrong time to and to think about that one, man. I mean, not to cut you off here, but CJ Stroud showed pure emotion, bro. I mean, that's a brother that you out there, battling with, you're fighting with. You got the number 1 seed in your division, but it's about to be playoff time, and you just got Nico Collins back. So man, but to look at that emotion that CJ showed, man, just shows the beauty about, sports or football in general. Like, hey, bro, these guys are brothers. All right. These guys, go out there fighting tooth and nail, sweating blood, shedding tears together to win. And my thought process went back to the 49ers and Devondre Campbell and what he did, that walking off. Like, that's what you're doing, right? We brothers, like we're fighting, you know what I mean? Whether you're here for a year or 2 months, you suited up. You're a part of this team. You're my brother. We're going to fight together. So I just love that emotion from CJ Stroud, man. But on to the game. What did you think about this football game?
So I think, well, as you mentioned, CJ Stroud, I'm just looking at him, and he is not having the same level of success that he had last year. And that that's understandable, right? They got a whole off season to study the tape on you and try to take things away. And you're still not, you still don't necessarily have elite receiving weapons. And, they try to help him out. They got him Joe Mixon and whatnot, but he needs a legitimate, real, true number 1 wide receiver, because even though he's got a good rapport with Nico Collins, that's not it. So he needs that as well. But I want to say he's regressed, and I know that sounds bad, but regressed only in the way that he hasn't played as well this year as last year. But Pat Mahomes and this freaking Chiefs team, man, they just continue to ball. 14-1. It appears that the entire AFC playoffs are going to go through Arrowhead again. And so now the question becomes, who can go in there and beat these guys? Can it be Lamar and the Ravens? Can it be freaking Josh Allen and the Bills? Who can go in there and beat these guys? Maybe could it be the Chargers or the Broncos? If one of them makes it, who's it going to be, if at all? And so, man, this is just another example of Pat Mahomes goes out there and gets it done. This guy is supposed to be on a high ankle sprain. He out there making people look stupid. Like, this is not normal what we're seeing here, man. And I'm just starting to wonder, like, can anything stop the Chiefs? It doesn't have to be pretty. They're not putting up 50. Mahomes not throwing for 400, but they just keep winning. So I'm just wondering, like, can anything stop these guys, man? They're really, really good. That's what I take from this game.
Ditto. I mean, champs, them boys find ways to win, man. It's like Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and that team, they hold a magic ball. And when you think that it's over for them, when you think they're down and out, when you think that this should be a decline or this should be a bad season, they're 14-1.
Yeah.
Right? They're 14-1, yet to score 31 points. They haven't blown out anybody.
Yeah.
They've won literally in every facet of the game. A doink,
that's
block
right.
kick,
Right.
A pick six, a pick.
Yeah.
Like every single way you think that a team could win a football game, they're winning them. Right? They're winning them. I like New Breed. You said Bills can stop the Chiefs. Yeah, we heard that before, and it didn't go well. So they beat them in the regular season, you got to show up in the postseason. Bills beat them before in the regular season, and Mahomes happened when it came to the playoffs. So
he always does, doesn't he?
He does something different. When those lights get the brightest, that team shows up differently when lights get the brightest, and you've seen that just time and time again this season, man.
Yes, sir.
But another great win for him. Prayers to Tank Dell, and hope he has a
Mhm.
good surgery and able to recover and come back next season. But you kind of feel bad for how they lost another weapon when they just got another weapon back just a couple of weeks ago. So
Mhm.
chew that in 13 seconds too. You're right. 13 seconds is all it took for him to get downfield. But yeah, man, you got anything else on this football game?
Not at all, sir.
All right, we're gonna move on over to briefly. Well, earlier today we had a segment today talking about the Ravens and Pittsburgh game, them winning 34-17. So if you guys want to hear about the Pittsburgh Steelers, I know Sean, like, no, you can move on. We're gonna
Yeah.
move on, Sean. Uh,
we did a more in-depth breakdown on the
Yeah.
earlier live show that we did today, and we had the mayor of Baltimore. He was on with us. G.
Mayor of Baltimore, everybody spoke in and said their
Yes.
piece. So if you guys want to hear about that one, feel free to go watch the segment from earlier today. That will give our breakdown for the Baltimore Raven and Pittsburgh Steelers game. So for right now, we're gonna move past that. I suffered enough. All right.
No, you have not, Edward. You have not.
All right, we're gonna get to today's games. The 1 o'clocks, the New York Giants fall 7-34 to the Atlanta Falcons, who have started their rookie quarterback, Michael Penix Jr. In his first career start, he gets a blowout victory, and his defense gets 2 pick sixes against Drew Lock and the New York Giants. Man, what do you think about this football game and the showing of the rookie in his first game?
So not too much, but to me, that's the biggest takeaway from this was Michael Penix Jr. for a rookie. He looked so comfortable back there. He didn't look rushed. He was just going through his progressions, making his reads. And the one interception that he had wasn't really his fault. Pitts, I think, popped it up in the air, and they were able to take that. But, I mean, just watching the guy play, the numbers aren't eye-popping, right? But it's better than most guys for a debut as an NFL starter. Mm-hmm. And you just look at it and you say, man, he looks comfortable. He doesn't look too flustered. So I think that was good. Clearly, they've been building his first team reps throughout the course of the season. You can see that in practice. And that's also how they were able to see, okay, it's about time we can let this guy do it. And I think he had, I want to say, maybe 50 plus starts in college. So he's very experienced. He played 6 years in college. Yeah, because he ripped his knee up twice. To
Washington. Yeah,
right. He ripped his knee up twice at Indiana, and so then he went to Washington the last 2 years and did his thing. But yeah, no, I was just impressed with the young man. Glad to see him get out there and really do his thing because again, I had him. Unlike most people, I had him as QB1 in the draft last year. Everyone said Caleb was can't miss, blah, blah, blah. And not to say Caleb is in the best situation, but regardless, Penix is, I think Penix is that guy. And I think it was about time. I think it was a good move. So congrats to him. And yeah, your Falcons are right back on it, and they're doing what they're supposed to do.
You're right. Falcons are back on top, baby. Let's go. But yeah, you're right. It was a great showing. Like you mentioned earlier, that pick wasn't on him. Kyle Pitts just doesn't know how to catch the football. That's clearly what caused that interception. I wish they could count that as a fumble, right? Like, because that's not a pick. I mean, Michael Penix bullet, bottom, got him. You know, Kyle Pitts turns and he just coughs it up out of thin air, and then it gets picked off. So I wish they could kind of like, take that back. Cause like as a quarterback, you're like, nah, I didn't throw a pick. Man, that's his fault. Right. Or like a drop or something like that, or some other stat, because that what makes this looks like he didn't do too well because everybody's going to see the interception. But if you didn't watch the game, you're not going to know that that just truly wasn't his fault. That actually could have been a touchdown if Kyle Pitts could have kept it and ran on into the end zone. But no, great showing. They stuck it to the ground game. You could definitely tell, I agree with you, that he does get first team reps because he was spreading the ball very, very well. He didn't show favoritism much at all. Drake London got 8 targets, Mooney 6 targets, tight ends got some targets. Everybody was able to touch the football when he was back there, including Kyle Pitts, who decided to cough it up. But anyway, the defense showed up for him as well. I mean, the New York Giants aren't a team to write home about, but coming up with 2 pick sixes, 2 pick sixes definitely helps you out in your debut, man. So shout out Michael Penix Jr. coming in, getting his first win. And actually that win is what catapults him to now first in the division. So he's actually the only quarterback in the draft to be like, hey, I'm first in my division. Can he claim that? No? You give that to Kirk Cousins?
No.
Kirky?
No, he got it. Thanks, God.
He's like, man, I could be in the playoffs in my first career start. Right. So that could be pretty exciting. That can also be something that motivates him, to play against the Commanders. Now he's like, hey, Jaden Daniels, like you've had all season to get it going. Now let's show like why I should be in consideration for even starting sooner, one of the top quarterbacks in the draft. So it's gonna be a game to watch. I'm gonna definitely tune in to next week's game.
Yeah.
All right. Moving forward, we're gonna go into the Lions truffle the Bears. Beating the Chicago Bears 34-17. Pretty dominant game by the Detroit Lions, but I'm gonna let you take it away. What was your take on this game right here?
No, I think you just said it, man. Dominant game by the Detroit Lions. Clearly, in my estimation, the best team in the NFC. Some people might say Philly, and I wouldn't be mad at that either. But to me, I think they're the best team in the NFC. But I'm surprised. Well, I guess I shouldn't be, right? Caleb put up some big numbers today, 26 of 40, 334, 2 touchdowns, no picks. So, good game, but no, not enough. But the Lions, they did what they were supposed to do, and that's go stomp out an inferior opponent. And so, shouts to them. They got busy. I will not too much to it there. Yeah, the Care Bears for real. You're right.
The Care Bears. Wow, that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
The Care Bears. But no, you're absolutely right.
Have a rainbow on his stomach too.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Wow. I see what you did there.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow.
I'm just saying
that's a good one. That's a good one. Because don't they quarterback got pain on the finger? Don't worry about it. We'll talk about that.
Right. Yeah.
We're not trying to get canceled in 2025.
No,
right?
No, we don't need that.
But no, man, this is a pure dominant game by the Detroit Lions. They did everything they wanted to against the Chicago Bears, defensively holding them for the most part. Besides the big second quarter that the Bears had, they pretty much, did what they wanted to against this football team. Trash can yards from Caleb Williams. I mean, he was pretty much down for the entirety of the football game. So that took away the run game. So he had to, throw the ball a lot. And as, Detroit Lions, if you watch football enough, then you know that, hey, you got big leads. Now just don't get beat deep, everything in front of you. So it's kind of easier to rack up those yards at a higher clip. But the number one pick is officially 4-11 on the season. And I believe this is his 9th straight loss. I think that's 9 straight losses by the Chicago Bears. Yep. Perfect. I mean, that's just music and just beautiful music. Just Motown was playing that music. Them Temps was playing, but it was David Ruffin and the Temptations out there beating up the Chicago Care Bears. I mean, the Chicago Bears.
You foul, man. You foul.
Anytime the Bears are bad, bro, I'm gonna be happy.
Yeah, you're Packer.
I'm gonna be happy, man.
So nothing wrong with that.
My bad. I didn't. So just in case anybody forgot, it's right there on the shoulder right there. But no, man, great game. Detroit, like I said, is just retain number one spot in the conference. So, and we'll get to Philly and the reason why they have that spot, and they sit alone at the top of the pedestal right now. But that's pretty much it for that football game, man. You got anything else?
Nah, man, that's it.
All right. We're going to move on over to the Cincinnati Bengals, who are fighting for their life right now to get a playoff spot. They moved to 7-8 as they beat the Cleveland Browns 24-6. What is your take on this football game and another outstanding performance by Joe Burrow?
That was exactly what my take was going to be, man. If Cincinnati does not make the playoffs, it will be a crying shame because it'll be one of the better quarterback seasons ever wasted, man. Joe Burrow is out of this freaking – he's balling out of his mind right now.
Correct.
And what we're seeing is highly unusual. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's 39 touchdown passes, only 8 picks, 4,200 plus passing yards, QBR is more than 74. I mean, he's nuts, man. He is nuts. And, to see the type of the way he's playing after the hole that the Bengals started in, it's tough. But at the same time, when you don't play with that urgency out of the gate and you get into those holes, man, this is what happens. You got to try to dig yourself out. But we'll see. I mean, what are they, 7-8 now? So who knows how it could end up? Clearly, they're going to need help. They're not going to be able to do it on their own. So I definitely want to see. Let's see what's the last 2 games here. But over Cleveland, just bad. Now we're hearing Myles Garrett say he wants to be in Cleveland, but he's going to have to sit down and have some talks and find out who's who and what's what, basically. So it's like, oh, now if he's talking like that, you need to be preparing trade deals because you could get a haul for him and immediately make your team a lot better. And you get out from under a big salary because you'll always have to pay, what's the name? You'll always have to pay Deshaun Watson. Yeah. So that might be something you want to think about. As for the Bengals, they end the season with the Broncos and then at the Steelers. 2 tough matchups. But again, the way Joey B is playing, man, anything is possible. Anything is possible.
That was a good one.
We did it.
All right, relax, bro.
Okay,
relax. Okay, because I was against this team right here, so I'm not.
Well, I'm not.
Too thrilled
I'm just laughing at Tatum. Like clearly was trying to do something, but lacked the originality. So, and I like Tatum. I'm not trying to go in on it. That's G's lane, but I was like, come on, man.
Like, oh man, you make it hard to root for you, man.
Exactly,
what is you doing, bro?
Right.
But either act like Kobe or act like you a dang Celtic, man. Pick one. You can't be both, bro.
He definitely can't act like Kobe. We're not going to disrespect Kobe like that.
You try to mimic everything Kobe does.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So,
but
man,
I would not ever disrespect the mom, but that way I want you to know.
No, absolutely not.
All right, yes, back to the Bengals and the Browns.
But no, man, like you said, man, about Joe Burrow, I'm curious. I want to see one of the stats or another quarterback that's had such an amazing season from a statistical standpoint,
right?
Like Joe Burrow and his team just completely fumble it for the entirety of the season, right? I'm curious to see what the next quarterback's numbers could look like, because this might be the best quarterback season ever to not make the postseason. Could be, could possibly be. So, like I said earlier, a couple of segments earlier, not a couple of shows earlier, if you flip their record, right, and maybe give them 10 wins, we're talking MVP with the way he's showing out. You know what I mean? Right. So, the man can't play both sides of the ball, and he's obviously scoring at a much higher clip, not turning the ball over. Another great showing today against a good defense, or what's left of it if Myles Garrett leaves. But I'm just curious, man. I wonder what that'll look like, man. My bad, Albert. You said question on the panel. Do you guys think he has start?
Okay.
Do you think if he has start, will he be in the conversation for Rookie of the Year? I think
he's talking about Penix.
Penix.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Penix is that dude. Yeah, I think he would be in the conversation.
Could.
Now, that's not to take anything away from what Jaden Daniels has done in Washington. He's had a great year. But, I think if he had started right away, Penix would absolutely be in that discussion. Sure. Yeah,
especially if the Atlanta was winning the way they're winning, which I think he's capable of doing. Kirk Cousins, had a great start to the season. But other than that, curious to see if he could have maintained some of that steam when, the Falcons went on that 4-game losing streak. So, but yeah, he could have been in that conversation for sure. But yeah, that's all I got on the Bengals, man. Just Joe Burrow, wasted time, and Jamar Chase, man. Shout out to Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase has just been a dog. Possible Triple Crown runner this season.
It's looking that way.
So yeah, it's just what a waste. Like you Triple Crown and MVP numbers from your quarterback did not make the playoffs. That's got to be a first time ever, man. I'm curious to see if somebody's gonna pull up those stats. But yeah, we're gonna move on here. My boy Jonathan Taylor, Go Badgers, ran foots in the Tennessee Titans today. Last week, he caught a lot of backlash for fumbling before crossing the end zone, dropping the football. But today, he said, "Not today." On a 70-yard run to the end zone, he ran from the 30-yard line all the way into the tunnel and never let go of the football Never let go of the football. Even when the teammates tried to take it from him,
right?
He was like, "No, I'm not letting this go. I'm not letting this go." So, man, what a game for him, man! What a game for him. As we know, Jonathan Taylor is one of the premier running backs in the league, just on a team that's just not quite doing too much. But 218 on the ground, 29 carries, 3 touchdowns. Jesus Christ. I mean, you just couldn't stop the kid at all. What is your take on this football game here, brother?
My take is that's the Jonathan Taylor I know. And he did this against a very solid defense. And
correct.
This to me gets back to, and I know I'm old school and all that. If you got a bell cow back, please hand him the ball as much as you can. If you have a bell cow, let me say this again. If you have a bell cow back, please hand him the ball as much as you can. These guys need those touches, man. And when they get them, they can go off. Now, is every game going to be 200? Of course not.
No, of course not. No.
JT, this is a dude who ran for about 1,900 yards a couple years ago. You know, he's a former first-team All-NFL guy. Jonathan Taylor can flat out get it done, but you got to give him the ball. Yeah, yes.
He's a horse.
Yes. But you got to give him the bat. You got to give him the football. So I loved to see what we saw there. And quick side note, they're going to finish up at the Giants and then versus the Jaguars. So he probably has an opportunity to get another maybe 300 rushing yards on the season. So excuse me.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, pardon me. It could end up.
Do you jump check halfway? Halfway.
The side straddle hop.
What do y'all call it? What y'all call it? What, 8? Not we call it 8-count bodybuilders. What do y'all call it?
What's that? This?
No, the burpees. Pretty much it's just burpees. Drop down, push up.
The 8-count push up.
8-count. Y'all call it 8-count push up. Okay, there you go. Yeah,
that's what they called it when I was saying. That was a while ago. So that was a while ago. Almost 10 years now. Damn, that was fast. But
10 years ago?
Yeah, 2015 is when I got out. June 2015. Mm-hmm.
Damn, man, it's crazy how 10 years just flew by like that.
Flew by. It's almost. Yeah,
man, it's almost been 10 years since I got out of active duty. Now to think about it.
There you go. It goes quick, man. Goes quick.
I'm approaching my 10-year mark here soon. But yeah, man, Jonathan Taylor, man, workhorse. The Indianapolis Colts had more rushing yards than the Tennessee Titans had offensive yards. Period. So I mean, when you can run the football like that, like boy. Because Anthony Richardson added on another 70. He had a 29-yard scramble. Trey Sermon another 25. Tyler Goodson another 22. So they were definitely committed to running the football. 50 carry attempts from your running backs to 11 passing attempts from your quarterback. I mean, if you want to, and still he found a way to turn over the football. That's kind of weird to me.
But clearly, you do not believe in AR, and I get it.
Yeah. But what a showing from Jonathan Taylor, man. Nothing much else to write home about. The Tennessee Titans, they're on their backup quarterback, and they're just playing for the draft right now at this point. Mm-hmm. What I see from them, but good showing by the former Badger. All right, moving on. We're gonna go to the Rams beating the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers somehow can't score after a solid drive in the first quarter, then all of a sudden goes blank, blank, blank for the second, third, and fourth quarter as far as scoring opportunity in the end zone. What do you think? What do you think about this football game? Oh, no, timeout. Kyron the Siren, 23 carries, 122 yards, 1 touchdown. Go Irish. He's helping me out in my fantasy league right now.
There you go. Kyron the Siren. That dude. The Siren. Yeah,
go ahead, brother.
He's a really good player, man. Really good player. He you know what I was thinking about it, and this was just the other day. I was telling my other homeboy, if you look at kind of the way they play and the way they use him, he is a low budget Saquon Barkley, like very similar in play style. So you know what I'm saying? A very
small,
low
short
budget
guy,
Saquon Barkley, but that is clearly the type of role they envision for him, and he's doing his thing, man. He's doing it. So anyway, this is not going to be a Kyron the Siren / Notre Dame love fest. Clearly, look, man, Aaron Rodgers just not there anymore. Like the numbers look solid, but he could only put that into 9 points. Like it's just not good. It's just not good.
No, it's not, man.
Yeah, Devontae Adams, I know he is regretting leaving Vegas because I believe Nevada has no state income tax, and there's a lot in New York and New Jersey.
Boy, is it.
Excuse me. Um, yeah, he's got to be regretting forcing his way out to come to the Jets, man. Look, I mean, what is there really to talk about with the Jets, man? They're just not good, and we're gonna have to see what they do next season at the quarterback position in terms of the coaching staff. I have no idea what it's going to be. I'm totally unimpressed. The Rams are going to be a very dangerous team for
Correct.
whoever plays them in the first round of the playoffs in the NFC. They can still do it. Obviously, they're well coached. There's a little bit of championship DNA left over. Nothing particularly special here. Just sad, and Aaron Rodgers needs to go.
No, I mean, I definitely agree. Devontae Adams got traded from the Las Vegas Raiders to only be one win ahead of the Raiders.
Wow.
One win.
Wow. Okay, there you go.
The Raiders are what, 3-12. You're currently 4-11.
There you go.
Bravo.
Right.
Could have came to Green Bay. Could have came back home.
Came right back home. Yeah.
Came right back home. You would have been right here flying on cloud 9 with Jordan Love and the rest of those young receivers helping. Right. But I respect your decision, Devontae. You know, I love you like a brother. You just went to the wrong guy. I was happy at first.
Right.
And I'm just like, why? What are we doing?
I think they thought they could recreate magic, honestly. And so,
we saw it last week. Now, granted, we did see it last week. We know it's there, right? It's there, but it's just like Aaron Rodgers can't consistently keep, making those type of moves and, getting out of the pocket, those crazy plays that, we're accustomed to seeing Aaron Rodgers do for 16, 17 years of his NFL career. So, but yeah, man, nothing to write home about. I'm gonna move on from this one. But shout out to Kyron and Siren. Ground attack. He had more rushing yards than Matthew Stafford had passing. So clearly they were playing it through the ground today with 31 attempts, 19 attempts for Matthew Stafford, and they had 31 total carries. So they ran the ball effectively and beat the New York Jets, who so happened to only score 6 in the first and 3 for the remainder of the football game. Good job, Aaron.
Absolutely embarrassed.
Good job. All right, we're going to move on over to the Panthers, eclipsing the Arizona Cardinals. That Panthers team is very, very feisty since Bryce Young has – Huh?
I thought you were going to that Commanders game. My bad. Let me get to –
Did I skip? Oh, man, my bad. I did skip. My bad. That's on me. Let me rewind real quick.
All right.
Another great game. Jaden Daniels, game-clinching touchdown, game-clinching drive to – upset the Philadelphia. Well, I'm not going to call this an upset. It's a divisional game, but to beat the Philadelphia Eagles 36-33. Of course, this is a game where Jalen Hurts went down with a concussion. He did not return to the football game, so Kenny Pickett had to step in. But Jaden Daniels, man, what a game. Just what a game by him. Showcasing why he's going to be Rookie of the Year and why he's definitely a huge piece and huge reason to be excited to be a Washington Commander going forward, man. What is your take on this football game here?
My take on this football game is a great day by Jaden Daniels and great win by the Commanders in the division and in the conference. However, Devontae Smith, you are the reason why your team lost that game. You catch that ball, and that's the end of this game because they'll just, continue to bleed the clock out. So that was tough. And what gets to me, so many of these so-called far superior players and better athletes, we always hear that. I was talking to my other homeboy about this. So many guys in the league nowadays, for whatever reason, they let the ball get to their bodies and they don't hands catch. And it's really weird to me because, like, if you go back and you look back in the day, the best receivers all were hands catchers. Now, it seems like a lot of these guys let the ball get to their body, and I'm not sure why that is. I don't know if they're being coached that way, if they're not putting in enough time practicing, and they just too busy working on their touchdown dances for celebration. I don't know what it is, but Devontae Smith catches that ball and we're having a totally different discussion. So I also think that if Jalen Hurts didn't get injured, we're having a totally different discussion. But you play whoever's in front of you, man. Great game by Jaden Daniels today, and big win in the division and in the conference.
No, absolutely, man. Clearly the offense just looked completely different when Jalen Hurts got hurt. Saquon Barkley had one crazy start 100 yards, 2 touchdowns in the first
Man.
quarter alone. But as soon as Jalen Hurts got hurt, it was like that whole offense clearly changed for an obvious reason. It just shows a lot more that more to show that Jalen Hurts is a big part of that team. He doesn't have to do much, but it's what he can do with his legs, his playmaking ability, his play action ability, his scramble ability, push, all of those things do factor in to why the Philadelphia Eagles are this great this year. And you add him along with a workhorse that's right behind him, squatting 500 pounds every given Sunday, and Saquon Barkley, then boom, you're in a great situation. So not much of that was there with Kenny Pickett. I believe he paid for Pitt. He played for Pitt, right?
Yeah,
that's a Pitt boy. Yeah.
Yep.
So, not as much of the playmaking ability, obviously a backup for obvious reasons, but, definitely it showed that. But Jaden Daniels, man, I mean, what more can you say about that kid? I mean, mature. Obviously he played, all those years at LSU. And it clearly shows his poise. And when it's game time, don't count that kid out, right? Little Patrick Mahomes-esque in there.
I can
this
see
season
that.
when it comes to him being down in the fourth quarter. They need a drive. He's making it happen with his legs and with his throwing arms. So, great game by those guys, man. Great game by those guys. Quick question. Do you think at this point, I think Saquon Barkley needs 268. Do you think he can get it? 2 games?
I want to say no. And the reason why I say no, man, we've seen a lot of really amazing backs get really close to it and for whatever reason just fall short. It's like there's a magic like a magic force field around that record. It's tough. So I'm gonna say no here. I mean, obviously if I'm wrong, I'm gonna congratulate the dude, but for whatever, I don't see it, man. There's got to be some reason why this record has stood the test of time for so long. Let's see, what do they finish with?
Who?
The Eagles. The Eagles finished with the Cowboys and the Giants.
Possible,
but the Cowboys defense has been playing a lot better. So I don't think he's going to go off against the Cowboys, and then he would have to have a monster game against the Giants, which is very possible. But I think he's going to come up just short, like Barry Sanders did, like Adrian Peterson did, like all these other guys who are elite of the elite running backs. I think he's just going to come up a little short, and that's okay.
Yeah, I think if he can get a breakaway in the Dallas game and end up with like maybe 100 yards, $112, $110, something like that. Oh, they're going to get that boy 35 carries in his return in New York.
Oh, yeah.
What a way to do. What a way to break the record.
Wow.
With the team that didn't sign.
Think about it. Yeah. He might do it.
That would be the ultimate FU.
Yes.
You in that organization, I'm going to break Eric Dickerson's record against my former team who decided to say, hey, you can go test the market, man. We love you, but we're not going to sign you, man. Go out there and see what you can get and give us a call back. Yeah. Bye.
Terrible.
Boy, that would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Terrible. And really bad. Just terrible, Ernie. Terrible.
Terrible, Ernie. That's terrible. But yeah, man. Philadelphia Eagles are 12-3. Washington Commanders are now 10-5. They currently hold the number 7 seed in the NFC, right behind the Green Bay Packers, who play tomorrow. Likely to win tomorrow, so they may go 11-5. 11-4. So who knows? Still a lot of football game left, but those teams are definitely looking like they're almost for sure locks to win. To make the playoffs, make the postseason, excuse me. Got tongue-tied there. Yeah. All right, moving on. We're going to go with now we're going to officially move on to Bryce Young. Ever since Bryce Young's return, he's been playing great football. Carolina Panthers are looking very, very frisky. Even though they're eliminated from the playoffs, they're just not going down, but, they're not laying down for the rest of the postseason. So they beat the Arizona Cardinals 36-30. What is his take on this football game and Bryce Young's better play since his benching?
Yeah, the numbers aren't fantastic, but he's really playing a lot better, not turning the ball over nearly as much. Really got these guys competing, man. And it's I think it's testament to him being a competitor more so than I thought. And I think it's also testament to what was his name, Dave Canales, the new first-year head coach. He's clearly trying to institute a culture, and these guys are fighting for him. So I'm not mad at that. They're coming up short, but they're fighting and they're competing, and there's always some to there's always something to be said for that. So yeah, this was good, and again, man, the Cardinals should be better than this. I just can't figure them out. You can't trust them, and I have no idea what they're doing here.
None. I have no idea either. Great job on the ground game by both teams.
Yeah.
James Conner 117, even Kyler Murray sprinkled in another 63. Chuba Herbert 152.
Right.
And then Bryce Young, sprinkled in another 68. So both teams were definitely running the ball effectively. And it was just one of those games. Arizona defense couldn't stop Bryce Young and that rushing attack from the Carolina Panthers, man. So, like I said, this is going to be a frisky team to beat. Obviously, the Bucks and the Falcons have to deal with them again this season. And so this is, a team that you're not, okay, we can't just go ahead and mark it as a W on the calendar no more. These guys are actually playing football, right? So great game by the Carolina Panthers as they moved to 4-11, and Arizona moved to 7-8. Who of the Arizona Cardinals were officially eliminated today as well, so they will not be making the postseason.
49ers as well.
49ers as well.
Yeah, a few teams. Cowboys, I think we mentioned, they were officially eliminated. So a bunch of teams actually are out of the running now.
Let me see.
But
Yep, Cowboys, Cardinals, and the 49ers, they were eliminated today.
There you go.
Yeah, they were all eliminated today. So other than that, it is all about the 5 teams that are left in the bubble are the Colts, Dolphins, Bengals in the AFC, Seahawks, and Falcons in the NFC. They're on the hot seat to try to get into the postseason this season. So, but great game by the Panthers. We're going to move on here to the Vikings. A tough win for them as they beat the Seattle Seahawks, who was hoping that the Seahawks could get the dub.
I know you were. I thought about that too. I know you were.
Man, I was hoping they can get that dub. But Minnesota Vikings thrive off of a pick by Geno Smith in the end of the fourth quarter to win 27-24. What is your take on this football game, brother?
Man, Geno Smith would have had a good day if not for the 2 picks. And Sam Darnold continues to make me look bad. I guess at some point here, I got to start saying, okay, he's proven me right. But, I'll be that dude as soon as he has the bad game. I'll be like, told you. But no, no, Sam Darnold, man, he's had a really, really good year. And I know he's got to feel really good about bouncing back the way he has, 32 touchdowns, only 11 picks. Yeah, absolutely. Almost 3,800 passing yards. So he'll probably finish at more than 4,000 yards passing on the year and maybe 35, 36 touchdowns. So not probably, but clearly his best every year in the NFL. So shout out to Sam Darnold, man. He clearly deserves that. So he's putting in the work and he's got the weapons around him. He's being coached. But I don't know how far I think the Vikings can go in the playoffs, but that wasn't the question. The question was what did I think about this game? And the Vikings did their thing, Darnold did their thing, and Geno literally gave the game away.
Yeah. Fun fact here. Is it crazy to see how former Jet players who look like bust in their respective drafts so happen to go to other teams
somewhere else and
play effectively, get a bag? Sam Darnold just played his way into a contract.
Yeah.
May not be with the Minnesota Vikings, as they do have J.J. McCarthy. They did draft him, who had the season-ending injury in the offseason before the season start. But Sam Darnold definitely just played himself into a contract, probably something similar to what Geno Smith got, maybe 35, 40 million, 3 years or something like that, or something similar to Baker Mayfield's contract as well. But it's cool to see Sam Darnold and Geno Smith, who were former Jet players who were kind of written off as bust and moved around the league and finally found a home and put together a great season in order to get their paychecks, man. It's kind of weird, man. It's probably just the Jets. Maybe if Aaron Rodgers comes back to Green Bay or something, He looks good again. Right? I think he looks good again, probably. So, curious to see that, man. Curious to see that. All right, but we're going to move on here. We're going to go into the Bills. The Buffalo Bills are 12-3. They beat the New England Patriots, who have the polar opposite record of 12-3. They are now 3-12 with a 24-21 victory, man. What's your take on that football game?
I think that every game is not going to be a blowout. It's the NFL, man. Every team you play has pros, and you're not going to be able to put up Superman numbers every game either. We saw Drake May actually outplay Josh Allen today. Remember, I told you that I believe Drake May is better than people thought. He needs some weapons. Like, they got to put some stuff around him. But Drake May is talented. This Patriots team is not winning a lot of games, but they compete. They play hard. So I definitely respect that. And yeah, I mean, the Bills are just continuing to win, and they're looking to be, as good as they can be when it comes time to go down to Arrowhead and try to, try their fate
dethrone the champs.
Correct.
You got to try to dethrone the champs, man. Yeah, man. Another great win by the Buffalo Bills. Like I said, they're just trying to maintain that steam way of possibly getting the number one seed. They would need another loss by the Chiefs, and I believe they would have to win. No, they need 2 losses. They need the Chiefs to go defeated for the rest of the season in order to try to capture that spot, end up in a tie, and of course they would hold the tiebreaker since they beat the Chiefs early in the season. So not likely, because the Chiefs are just winning every single game by any means. But that small, slim possibility is there. But they can maintain the number 2 seed and still have a home playoff game to start the season. But like you said, man, not in a great showing by Josh Allen, but he found a way to get it done. And Drake May, just like I said, great quarterback. Boy, that boy just needs help. The kid just obviously needs help, man. Obviously needs help. We're gonna move on over to the Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders beat the mighty Jaguars to now tie their record at 3-12. They beat the Jaguars 19-14. Man, what's your take on this football game here?
My take on this game is it really worth talking about? I'm more excited to see what these I'm more excited to see what these guys do in the offseason, man. Both quarterbacks played moderately well, didn't turn the ball over, had very similar numbers. Look at this: 25 for 39, Mac Jones, 247 yards and a touchdown. Aiden O'Connell, 24 for 38, 257 yards, no touchdowns. I mean, almost identical numbers. So, I mean, one thing I can say, both of these teams are out here trying to compete, and that's all you can really ask for. Nobody's laying down and rolling over. And Brock Bowers, Jesus Christ, Brock Bowers, like, what are we doing here, Brock Bowers? What are we doing? He's got 101 catches. He's tied for 4th in the league and over 1,000 receiving yards. What are we doing, Brock Bowers? I don't like this. I don't like this.
You're in the wrong franchise.
No, I don't like this because he's out here getting busy and they won't throw to my man Michael Mayer. Go Irish.
I don't think he even got a catch. Oh, he got a target. He didn't get a catch.
Yeah, it's bad. But no, in all seriousness, man, shout out Brock Bowers, man. He is looking fantastic as a rookie tight end, really doing his thing. But yeah, 2 bad teams. Very excited to see what they do in the offseason. But at least they're still competing. Like, that's all we can really say. They are still competing, both of them. So
yeah,
that's
true.
what I got.
I'm with you on this one, man. It's the battle of the trash bowl. Whoever gets closer to the first pick in the NFL draft. But shout out Brian Thomas Jr., Jaguars receiver, another great game. Just in a defeat, 9 receptions, 132 yards, a touchdown. Clearly showing that he's going to be the number 1 going forward in that franchise. They just need to figure out everything else about the football team, to build around that kid and his talent and what he can do. But yeah, man, nothing else to write home about. They're both 3-12. Yay for those franchises. Yay. Good luck in the draft going forward.
Right.
All right, and the final game of this of the wrap up will be the Miami Dolphins defeat the San Francisco 49ers, who were also officially eliminated as of today, 29-17. What was your take on this football game here?
You honestly want to know what my take was, man? what are they going to do with Brock Purdy?
That
was my take.
Are
honestly.
they going to pay him?
Well, they said they have the money earmarked already. So the question is, how much of it are they going to give him? But yeah, 29-17 win for the Dolphins. Dolphins are not officially eliminated. I guess they were pretty upset coming off of the loss last week.
They have a 7% chance.
San Francisco wasn't able to do what they normally want to do, and that's really establish the run. In actuality, Miami was the one that was able to do that, right? 30 for $166. So they were able to do that. Like, how bad is it? You're the San Francisco 49ers, your leading rusher is Brock Purdy. That's not how that stat line is supposed to look.
I mean, granted, they lost their first, second, and third string running back.
Yeah.
Like they lost all
you can't
three
pick up somebody from somewhere. I mean,
but at this point, is it even worth it?
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah. I mean, you just pretty much wasting. I mean, it'll be good for another player to come out of nowhere and go play for him. But other than that, from San Fran's perspective, you gain nothing with that. You already eliminated for the year. Nothing that you can do from the ground game going forward is going to turn your season around as it's officially over. But but good job for Miami. They're fighting tooth and nail. They have, like I said, a 7% chance to make it. Obviously, they're going to need some losses by either the Broncos or the Chargers. And that's just what it's going to be, man. That's what it's going to be for the Dolphins. So good game by him. Good thing I didn't start 2 in my fantasy league. I probably would have lost because he didn't do enough. But Achane, $120 on the ground, 17 carries and a touchdown. Got to get it done. Running it down San Francisco's throat. So that will be it, man. That is the last game. I'm double check here. I think I get all the games.
Yeah, that's the last game for tonight. And tomorrow night, your Packers, well, tonight, I guess, your Packers will go ahead and smack around the Saints. So,
Put foots in them.
Put foots
literally.
in them.
Josh Jacobs, he's going to have 147 yards on the ground.
There you go. There you go.
Mark it.
Yeah,
we're going to carry the hell out of football.
That's putting foots, for real.
Putting foots in them. Putting foots in them. We're a 14-point favorite. And the weather is 30 degrees out there, man. It might snow, I believe, too. So definitely expecting a big game from Josh Jacobs tomorrow.
There you go. There you go. So,
but yeah, man, that's the wrap up, guys. We thank you guys for tuning in. Let us know what you guys' takes are on tomorrow's game. It should all be heavily favored for the Packers. If not, then I'm just going to need you to just not comment anymore about anything else, man. Just go Pack Go around here, man. Go Pack Go. You got anything else, Bruce?
No, man. I think that's it.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up, man.
Let's go.
Double show Sunday, man. We did it. We made it.
We made it. We appreciate y'all. Definitely no show Wednesday night, y'all. Definitely no show Wednesday night. Wednesday is Christmas Day.
Man. Yes.
So happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Everybody, enjoy this time with your families, or your friends, or whoever it is you spend it with. Enjoy it. Remember what it's about, and just we'll leave it there. But just enjoy your time. Pretty sure, God willing, we'll be back Saturday. May or may not do something during the week. Not sure yet, but we'll see. But yeah, if you don't, we will see you Saturday night. So enjoy your week. And again, happy holidays, y'all.
Absolutely, man. Y'all be out of here. Be safe.
Peace.
Go Pack Go.